Have you ever walked into a room and then just completely blanked on why you went there?
Oh, absolutely.
Or maybe you're, in the middle of a great chat and a name or some detail, it's right there, but it just won't come out.
The tip of the tongue thing, classic.
Exactly. If you're nodding along right now, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're really diving into something pretty incredible. This direct, really profound connection between what you eat and how sharp your brain is.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
Specifically, how certain foods can, well, literally supercharge your memory and your overall cognitive function.
That's a powerful link.
So our mission today is basically to give you a clear, actionable roadmap for nourishing your brain. We've looked at a whole stack of research papers, health articles, expert videos.
Lots of good sources.
Yeah, to pull out some genuinely surprising facts and also some really practical tips you can actually use every day. Get ready to, feed your mind.
In more ways than one, right? It really is amazing how much our diet affects our thinking.
Yeah.
To really get it, maybe we shouldn't start with specific foods just yet.
Okay.
Like maybe start with the basics. The fundamental building blocks the brain actually needs. If you think of the brain like this super complex machine, what fuel does it need just to run properly?
That's a great way to put it, yeah. And when we look at those fundamentals, two things always, like bubble to the top as critical. Omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants.
Exactly. Consistently major players.
And these aren't just, trendy health words. They're essential for actually building your brain and defending it daily.
Couldn't agree more. Let's kick off with omega-3s, because this is where it gets really interesting, maybe even a bit surprising. Your brain, it's literally about 60% fat.
60%, wow.
Yeah, and here's the kicker. Over half of that fat is made up of omega-3s. Without them, your brain just can't build its basic structure.
Okay, so they're like the foundation.
Totally. They're absolutely essential for building healthy brain cells, nerve cells. Think of them like the architectural steel for your mind. Crucial for learning, for memory. Specifically, DHA. That's a type of omega-3 you find a lot in oily fish. Walnuts, too. It's a key component of your brain's cell membranes. It literally forms the walls of your brain cells.
So it's that fundamental.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important for, everything your brain does.
Okay, that 60% figure with over half being omega-3s, that really paints a picture. So what happens if someone's diet is consistently low in these fats? What kind of impact are we talking? Is it subtle or?
It could be pretty noticeable, actually. Not getting enough omega-3s has been linked to learning impairments.
Yeah.
And it can even play a role in things like depression.
Right.
And what's really fascinating is the research showing people who eat more seafood tend to have more gray matter.
Gray matter.
Yeah, not like, sci-fi aliens. Gray matter is where all the nerve cells are packed in your brain. It handles the big stuff. Decision-making, memory, emotions.
So more gray matter means more processing power, basically.
Kind of, yeah. More cognitive horsepower. Plus, omega-3s are great at reducing inflammation, which we know is bad news for overall health. And they might even lower the risk of really serious neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's.
Okay, so they build and protect. Makes sense. Now, what about that other major player you mentioned, antioxidants? How do these bodyguards work? What are they guarding against?
Great question. Think of antioxidants as your brain's personal security detail. They protect your cells from damage.
Damage from what?
From harmful molecules called free radicals and something called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is basically like rust building up in your brain's machinery over time. It contributes to aging, to cognitive decline.
Ah, okay, like wear and tear.
Exactly. And these antioxidant bodyguards, they intercept those free radicals. They neutralize them. We find really powerful ones like flavonoids, think dark chocolate, berries,
Nice.
anthocyanins in blueberries specifically, carotenoids in orange fruits and veggies, and of course vitamin C and E are key antioxidants too.
So they keep the cells healthy.
They do. They help maintain healthy brain cells, improve the communication between neurons, and they really help fight that frustrating brain fog that so many of us feel sometimes.
Oh, I definitely know that feeling after a crazy week. It's cool to think antioxidants are actively fighting it. Okay, so we get why these nutrients are crucial. Let's talk specifics. Which foods are loaded with them? What are the superfoods we should actually put on our plates?
Right. This is the delicious part. Because lots of these foods don't just have one benefit. They often combine several brain-boosting properties. Let's start with fatty fish.
Okay.
We're talking salmon, sardines, tuna, trout, mackerel, herring. They are just packed. I mean, exceptionally rich sources of both DHA and EPA, those key omega-3s we talked about.
So eating these fish, What's happening inside our brains? Is it just the building blocks again?
It's both, really. They directly support cognitive function,
Yeah.
so better memory, sharper thinking overall, but they also reduce inflammation in the brain. And like we mentioned, that might significantly lower the risk of those neurodegenerative diseases down the line.
And how often should we aim for them?
The general advice is at least twice a week.
Twice a week for a sharper brain. That sounds almost too easy.
Yeah.
Are there any, common mistakes people make trying to eat more fish?
Well, honestly, the biggest hurdle is often just remembering to do it or finding ways to cook it that you actually enjoy. But the benefits, they definitely outweigh the effort.
Okay, duly noted. What's next?
Next up, blueberries. These little guys are often called real superfoods for the brain.
I've heard that. What makes them so special?
It's mainly those anthocyanins. They're the antioxidants giving blueberries that deep blue color. They have strong anti-inflammatory effects. And studies consistently show blueberries can improve communication between brain cells,
Wow.
reduce the risk of neurodegenerative diseases, sharpen memory, and even improve how accurate you are on tasks needing attention. Plus, side benefit, they can help lower blood pressure.
That's quite a list for a tiny berry. How best to eat them?
Super easy. Add them to breakfast smoothies, yogurt, cereal. It's a fantastic way to kickstart your brain for the day.
All right, I like that. Now, for those of us with a bit of a sweet tooth, is there any truth to the rumor that dark chocolate might actually be good for the brain? Or is that just wishful thinking?
No, it's actually true. Within reason, of course. Dark chocolate can be a delicious ally for your brain.
Really?
It contains flavonoids, those potent antioxidants again, plus a little caffeine and other beneficial compounds. The flavonoids are known to improve blood flow to the brain.
Okay.
And better blood flow means enhanced cognitive function, better memory. It directly helps your brain focus, solve problems, retain information. Plus, it can give your mood a little lift, reduce fatigue.
Sold. But there's a catch, right?
Moderation is key. Opt for chocolate with at least 70% cocoa. That's where the highest concentration of flavonoids is. And really just like 1 square a day is enough to get the benefits without overdoing the sugar or calories.
1 square. Got it. Okay, moving on. What about nuts? I always think walnuts look a bit like tiny brains. Coincidence.
It's a fun coincidence and weirdly symbolic. Walnuts are fantastic. They're packed with alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, which is another important type of omega-3, plus antioxidants and vitamin E.
So they're genuinely brain food.
Oh, absolutely. They're a powerhouse for enhancing cognitive function, improving memory recall, fighting age-related cognitive decline, and protecting those precious brain cells from damage.
How many should we eat?
Just a handful a day is great. As a snack or toss them in salads, yogurt, easy to add.
Okay. What about vegetables? Any green giants we should focus on?
Definitely. Broccoli is a real powerhouse vegetable.
Knew it.
Yeah. It's rich in antioxidants, sure, but also vitamin K. Now, vitamin K is essential for forming sphingolipids. That's a type of fat that's really critical for the structure and healthy function of your brain cells.
Sphyngo what now?
Sphingolipids, fancy word, but basically crucial fats in your brain cell membranes. Broccoli also has compounds with strong anti-inflammatory effects, and it contains choline, too.
So it does a lot.
It really does.
Yeah.
All this works together to improve cognitive functions, protect the brain from damage, and help with memory. Steaming it or eating it raw in salads is probably best to keep the nutrients intact.
Makes sense. And what about something really common like eggs? Are they just good protein or is there more brain benefit there?
Eggs are amazing. Think of them as nature's multivitamin for the brain.
Really?
Yeah, they're packed with B vitamins, B6, B12, folate, and also choline. Choline is super important because your body uses it to make acetylcholine.
Acetylcholine.
It's a key neurotransmitter that directly regulates things like mood and memory. So, getting enough choline is consistently linked to better cognitive function.
Okay, that's interesting. And the B vitamins?
They help regulate sugar levels in the brain, which is important for energy. They also help lower levels of something called homocysteine. High homocysteine is linked to brain shrinkage and an increased risk of cognitive problems. So B vitamins help keep that in check.
Good to know.
Now, there's a small nuance here. While whole eggs provide these great B vitamins, some research on B vitamin supplements, particularly very high folate, suggests you need a careful balance, especially if someone might be low in B12.
Ah, so the whole food is generally best.
Generally, yes. Starting your day with eggs scrambled, omelet, hard-boiled is an excellent way to fuel your brain.
Good tip. What else is on this superfood list? Anything a bit more unexpected?
How about pumpkin seeds? Often overlooked, but they are full of antioxidants, and they're an excellent source of crucial minerals: magnesium, iron, zinc, and copper.
Minerals. Okay, how do they help the brain?
These are absolutely fundamental for brain health. Magnesium, for example, is involved in nerve signaling and memory. Low magnesium levels are actually associated with several neurological diseases. Iron deficiency can cause brain fog. Zinc and copper are also vital for nerve signaling.
So they're pretty important then.
Definitely. And they're easy to add, sprinkle on salads, yogurt, or just eat them as a crunchy snack.
Nice. Okay, let's talk spices. I've heard incredible things about turmeric.
Ah yes, the golden spice, turmeric. Its active compound is curcumin. And what's remarkable about curcumin is that it can actually cross the blood-brain barrier.
What does that mean exactly?
It means it gets like a VIP pass directly into your brain. So it can deliver its powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefits right where they're needed most.
Wow, okay.
Curcumin also boosts something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as like miracle grow for your brain cells. It's crucial for memory, for learning, for growing new neurons.
That sounds amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
Some research suggests it might even improve memory in Alzheimer's patients. And it can help ease symptoms of depression and anxiety too.
Any tips for using it?
Added to soups, sauces, curries,
Wow.
golden milk tea. But here's a really key tip. Always use it with black pepper.
Black pepper. Why?
Pepper contains piperine, which significantly enhances your body's absorption of curcumin-like by up to 2,000%. Makes it way more effective.
Okay, turmeric and pepper. Got it. So thinking about daily routines, what about coffee and green tea? Lots of us rely on those.
Absolutely. Let's start with coffee. Your morning cup contains caffeine, obviously, but also a good dose of antioxidants.
And the benefits.
Well, the caffeine gives you that immediate alertness boost, right? It can also improve mood, partly by boosting dopamine, and it definitely sharpens concentration. And interestingly, long-term coffee consumption has even been linked to a reduced risk of neurological diseases, like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's.
Wow. Any downsides?
It's the usual advice. Moderation is key, and probably best to avoid it too close to bedtime, as it can really mess with your sleep.
Right. Sleep is important too. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
What about green tea for a maybe calmer boost?
Exactly. Green tea is a great alternative. It also has caffeine, but generally less than coffee.
Yeah.
Crucially, it contains polyphenols, those powerful antioxidants again, and an amino acid called L-theanine.
L-theanine. What does that do?
Theanine is interesting. It boosts alertness, but it also promotes a state of calm relaxation. It does this by increasing GABA, which is a neurotransmitter that helps reduce anxiety.
So alert but calm.
Precisely. You get focus and wakefulness, often without the jitters some people get from coffee. Plus, green tea helps protect the brain from mental decline. It might improve memory, too. It's a really nice option for a smoother, more sustained energy lift.
This has been an amazing tour of brain-boosting foods, but it's not just about what's on our plate, is it? Our brain health is part of a bigger picture, right?
You're absolutely right. It's a crucial piece, but definitely not the whole puzzle. Preventing cognitive decline often needs what researchers call a multi-domain intervention.
Multi-domain, meaning?
Meaning hitting it from multiple angles. Think of it like a symphony diet as one instrument, but you need the others playing too for perfect harmony.
Okay, so what are the other instruments?
Well, first off, basic but vital. Hydration. Water is absolutely essential for delivering nutrients to the brain and clearing out toxins. Even being mildly dehydrated can lead to brain fog, memory issues, makes you feel sluggish and unfocused.
So drinking enough water isn't just about thirst, it's about brain function.
Exactly. Then there's physical activity. Exercise isn't just for your body. It hugely increases blood flow to the brain.
Right.
That delivers more oxygen, more nutrients, supports cognitive function, and even stimulates the growth of new brain cells. It's like giving your brain a constant, fresh supply line and a bit of a growth spurt.
Makes sense. And sleep. We mentioned coffee interfering. How crucial is sleep itself?
Adequate sleep is non-negotiable for brain health. It's when your brain does its essential maintenance. It consolidates memories, processes information from the day. It literally cleans house, clearing out metabolic waste that builds up while you're awake.
So skimping on sleep really hurts your brain's ability to function and remember.
Absolutely. And like we said, too much caffeine, especially late in the day, directly sabotages that vital process.
Okay. And looking at overall eating habits, not just single foods, is there a pattern that stands out in the research?
Yes, definitely. That brings us to balanced dietary patterns. The one that consistently comes up is the Mediterranean diet.
Ah, I've heard good things about that one.
For good reason. It's rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and of course fish. And it's consistently associated with slower cognitive decline, better brain health as people age. Well, mostly. To be fair, Like with any large body of research, some studies might show conflicting results, maybe due to how they were run or who they studied, but the overwhelming trend, the bulk of the evidence, points very strongly towards its benefits for the brain. It's a really solid model.
That's good to know about the nuances in research, too. Okay, on the flip side,
Mm.
are there specific things we should actively avoid, like brain killer foods?
Yes, the sources definitely highlight some things to limit. Think about things like sugary drinks, sodas, sweetened juices, refined carbohydrates, white bread, pastries, that sort of thing, and foods really high in salt.
Why are they so bad?
They can cause sharp energy crashes, which isn't great for focus.
Yeah.
But more importantly, they tend to promote inflammation throughout the body, including the brain, and they directly contribute to that feeling of brain fog.
Yeah.
They're basically working against all the good stuff you're trying to do.
So it's about adding the good and reducing the bad.
Exactly. It's a balance.
Wow. What an incredible journey, really connecting the dots between our plates and our thinking caps. From sharpening memory, boosting focus, supporting long-term brain health. These insights really drive home the power we have through our food choices.
It's truly empowering, isn't it? Just realizing that by strategically adding these different nutrient-rich foods, the fish, the berries, the greens, the nuts, and backing them up with those healthy lifestyle habits like hydration, movement, sleep, you're making a really powerful, proactive investment in your future mental sharpness every single day.
It makes you think differently about grocery shopping. So, as you, our listener, plan your next meal, maybe consider this. What's one small, delicious change you can make today that your future brain will genuinely thank you for tomorrow?
Yeah, think beyond just fuel. Think about actively building and protecting your most vital organ. It's worth it.